All right, hey guys, how you doing? Sorry, sons. So, I have a 2012 Honda Pilot. It's the 3.5 V6. Doing a passenger rear window regulator. Customer states doesn't work. So I pulled the old one out. It is shot. The motor's done, but the regulator itself is pretty fine. Doesn't look all messed up. Usually these plastic pieces there, they break, and that's what messes up the regulator. But I installed the new one, so that's all good. You take off the door panel. There's two Phillips screws here for the door panel. It's on the back side of that. And then there's also a Phillips right here, and this is going to be right under on the door panel, like where you can put stuff. So it's right in there is where that Phillips is going to be at. And then you just pry the door panel off, and then you take that sheet off. It comes off pretty easy if the door's been in the sun, so that wasn't too much. And then there's the lock tab and the door knob itself, and you just have to be careful with these little clips here because they will break. So you just have to take them off carefully, very carefully, and then that will come off. So I replaced the window regulator, put the door all back on, and it didn't work. So I took that door panel off over there, and because the connectors are the same, and I was like, oh, maybe it's the switch on this door panel. So that one was the same, so I brought it over here, put it on, didn't work. And that door handle or that window motor and switch, that works. So that's why I switched it. And so this switch is good. That's what I thought. It was the switch. I thought maybe it was the master switch in the front. I hooked my scanner up. This car's a 2012, so I was able to read live data as I hit the button on the master switch, and I did see on the computer it was going on and off, and I did hear clicking from this switch. But when I used this switch to go on and off, I didn't hear anything. So that means something's messed up. There's no power going to the switch. And then vice versa, I did put this door on that one, and it works. So the switches are good. And so I'm like, okay, what the heck? So maybe it's a fuse. Nope, fuse is fine. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's a relay. Well, the relay is integrated into the fuse box under the driver dash, and that's working because the rest of the windows are working. And I looked at a wiring diagram, and I'll put it here right now. So we will be looking at wiring diagram here. It's pretty simple if you understand power, ground, signal, things like that. This is going to be the red wire, and this is for fuse 32 and 33. So fuse 32 is for the left side, I believe, and fuse 33 is for the right side. Let's see. So there's that. Okay, and those have power. Okay, power goes straight to, oh yeah, so purple, pink, and then red. And then if we get out of here and scroll down to the other one, so this is purple, these two, This is for the right rear power switch. This right here. And then that's the one that I'm working on. This wire here coming out of the switch didn't have any power. It was grounded. So that's how I knew that there was something wrong with the wiring. I will leave this one up here for a second. You can screenshot it or take a picture. And then I will exit out of this one. I will go back up to this one. Leave it up here for a second. And then you guys can take a picture or screenshot it. I hope this helps. And it just says there's a wire that's going to the back. You know, it doesn't give me any kind of connectors or pins or anything. So I kept going and I found the connector. And I'm gonna put it right here. And so I back probe the connector, and I wasn't getting any power to this pin. This is the culprit. This purple wire, if you saw in the diagram, is hot at all times. It's supposed to be 12 volts. I have my power probe right here. Sorry, my hand's in the way. This is the wire that I pulled out. Well, right now it's 13 because the car is on, because I've had the light on or the ignition on the whole time, but that's 12 volts or 13, 13.5, whatever. And I wasn't getting any power on that connector. So there's this one. Just keep doing that, huh? So that purple one. That purple wire is fuse number 32 for passenger rear door, which is under the fuse box. That fuse is great. Fuse is good. And so I checked here and I was like, wait, I'm not getting any power. I'm not getting any power. Everything was all grounded. It was so weird. Yeah. So, and when I say everything was grounded, I mean like when it was connected to the other, male connector, I was back probing right here in the back side because I was like, it needs to complete the circuit for me to get an accurate reading. So I plugged it up and then I back probed it back here. And that's when I was like checking, because this is power, the red one, and blue one is power for up and down switch. And then obviously the two black ones are negative for up and down switch. And then there's a couple other ones. This light blue one's for illumination of the light on the switch, and some other stuff. But yeah, and so I had to tear apart the door and pull this connector out, and this whole thing here, and I kept pulling on these wires, or not pull, but like just wiggling them, and I'm like, man, what the heck? Like, now it's not working, or now it's not doing anything. Because before I would do the switch and I would move it around, and it would work. The window would work. But and then finally I pulled all of it out of the door in the hole here. I pulled it all out. and then pulled this out. And when I pulled this out, that's when this purple wire came out. So just some, some simple testing. It's simple, but it takes time. It's so time consuming, it's tough because this job was only supposed to be an hour. Maybe even 30 minutes if you're fast. And it's turning into a whole 3 or 4 hour. I've been here since 11, and right now it's 2:30. So, yeah. But I am charging an extra hour and a half to find the wire, because I knew it was something in the wire finally when I told the customer. And so I said, I'm just going to charge you an hour and a half to solder the wire and find it, and then put everything all back together on top of what I'm already charging the customer. So, yeah. I felt so defeated. I was like, it's just a simple window motor and regulator. Like, how complicated could it be? And on a Honda at that. Like, it's insane. Anyway, I hope this video helps you guys out. If you're stumped and you can't figure out why your window regulator isn't working, this is the first time I've seen this on a Honda. Somewhere in here on the harness going to the trunk, one of these wires was broken. So alright, so we have the window working here. Let's see. Goes down, goes up. I just soldered this wire. So focus there. Yeah, so I just extended it just a little bit. I soldered that side, and that side I got my heat shrink here ready to go over. And yeah, ready to go back together finally. I'm gonna put this harness back in its home, and hopefully this holds up. It should hold up. It's pretty solid in there, and there's a flex, so this is what I was worried about. That's why I added this little piece, because it's hard here and it's hard here. And this is where it's gonna sit in between the door and the door jamb. So this is gonna allow it to flex inside of this. So yeah, I just don't want it to snap, So anyway, not too bad. Usually it's a lot fatter, but I've been getting better at not letting it drop or overdo it. So yeah, pretty good. I just want to show you guys that. And then yeah, again, thanks for watching.